Hey everybody, welcome back to Mead Maiden and the Mead Masters Guild. I'm here with my good friend and Mead Maiden Courtney.
Hey everyone.
And today we are drinking Ginger Bochet. Stay tuned. Alright, today we are drinking Ginger Bochet by Chinook Arch Meadery out of Okotoks, Alberta. Now, they do have a little blurb on the back of the bottle here, which I'll read off to you. It's about the history of Bochet.
You get to talk a lot, I'm reading it.
Okay. And I'll just give a quick little blurb about the Bochet here. Bochet is actually the type of mead, if you remember back from our introduction to mead video, where they actually toast or slightly burn the honey before they add it in for their fermentation. But they do have a little blurb which Courtney will read out here.
And you can kind of tell that from the color too, it's slightly caramelized.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the known history of Bochet is from the late 14th century France. It was a time of turmoil, disease, and decay of state and church. Well, this is depressing. Mead, the preferred libation for centuries, was slowly being replaced by ales and grape wine. But Bochet, made from honey toasted over open flames, then blended with healing herbs, held its own because of its medicinal properties. They just like getting tipsy. It's not medicinal. With a taste of caramel, ginger, and a hint of marshmallow, this mead could easily transport you from worldly troubles to heavenly bliss. Yes. I don't know. I've liked everything else from Chinook pretty much, so I will definitely trust them on that one.
Chinook is definitely a favorite of ours, and when they invited us down to the Horde of the Hive, there was Scott and myself.
I'm so sad I didn't get to go. I'm sorry, guys.
Unfortunately, you were previously engaged at that time, but it was a fun time. But we are going to be looking forward to doing tours to other meaderies around the province as well. Hopefully here when we all get a chance and our schedules all align. But yeah, no, the little blurb on the back there when it was talking about how it was replaced by ales and wine or grape wine is because at those times agricultural practices made beer and wine become cheaper. It was a lot harder to keep bees back then. A lot of times they would go out into the wild and they'd find bees like that, collect the honey, ferment it, and like that. Beekeeping practices weren't like they were today, where we understand the process and the life cycle and the entomology and everything of bees, where we can more control the situation. Mm-hmm. So that's why beers and wines replaced mead, because it was just cheaper. So that's why through a lot of history, mead was considered to be the drink of kings and gods because it was reserved for the upper class. And actually, a little fact.
None for the peasants.
Yeah, none for the peasants. But before that, even up to modern times, before World War II, Poland was very big into mead. They even had meads that were a couple of hundred years old, and they would share with dignitaries and kings and people visiting their country. And then, unfortunately, due to World War II, a lot of it was lost during the war, unfortunately. But they do still have a thriving mead culture as well. And I do have a mead in the future. One day we're just deciding when, from Poland. I'm just waiting on some translation. Some co-workers of mine are from Poland, and we're just trying to get a little translation happening. So
direct translation, because Google Translate?
Not always reliable.
Ooh, yeah, we've seen enough of the videos, like what was it on Jimmy Fallon, where they'll translate to another language and then translate back to English, and
it's just horrible.
It is gibberish.
But I'm definitely looking forward to trying this Ginger Bochet, and especially with the toast of honey and ginger.
Oh my God, look at the legs on this, Brian. Look at the legs. Look at the legs.
Those are thick.
Legs for days.
Oh, those are thick legs.
Those are sexy legs.
And if you can see from the light here through the glass in the bottle,
it's like light amber.
It's definitely a deeper color than a usual traditional mead. And this definitely comes from the toasting of the honey just to bring out everything. Mm-hmm. It makes the mead a little thicker too, hence why the legs are there.
Oh yeah, they're still there.
Oh.
It smells. Have you ever had the Chimes ginger chews?
Yeah, like the strips of candy ginger?
Well, not candy ginger. This is like the ginger chews from Chimes. It's a brand of candy. You used to get it at Coney Island Candy Store before they closed.
No, I can't say I've had those, but I can.
Oh, they're amazing, and it smells just like them.
It smells like definitely sweetened ginger here.
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
It's thick.
Like I do taste the marshmallow and the caramel because they caramelize the honey, and definite ginger.
It's almost like you're drinking a
candy.
A s'more almost.
Yeah, for me it's almost like I'm drinking one of those ginger Chimes ginger chews. They're just not as much with the heat of the ginger. You get the flavor without the burn.
Yeah, no, I'm getting that too. Like I'm getting the slightest of tickles for ginger in the back of my throat, but just ever so slight.
It is like thick and syrupy.
It is.
So I would imagine if in cocktails, if you were to use this in place of like a simple syrup,
yes,
this would be hands down because it's very sweet.
Oh yeah, no, it is. It is definitely thicker, and again, that's because the thickened honey. You have a higher content of honey, and that's why it's thicker. But oh my gosh.
Okay, so we're gonna give this a wee try. We're going to try a couple different foods, and we're also going to make a cocktail.
So we're back with the jalapeno Havarti?
Monterey Jack.
Or jalapeno Monterey Jack.
Mm-hmm. Call it all the spicy. It amplifies the heat.
It does. It adds the ginger with the jalapenos in there. It brings the heat up. So if you're somebody who likes spicy food, this is up your alley.
Yeah, for sure.
And I mean,
that's crazy.
I'm not a spicy food guy, but it's not burning my mouth, but it's definitely like you can feel heat.
Mm-hmm. And you can tell the moment this hits your tongue, it's like it amplifies the heat. Not to a point where you're like,
yeah.
It's not like ghost pepper heat. It's just regular heat.
It's warm.
Yeah.
It's warm. But no, that's good.
Yeah, that is chicanery black magic. So we're gonna have garlic sausage.
That's weird in this one because it takes the heat of the garlic down, at least for me. And I'm getting like a stronger honey note.
Yeah, it amplifies the sweetness.
Oh yeah. It's weird. You think the garlic would be like the jalapeno and bring the heat up? No, it like kills the garlic heat, brings up sweetness.
Honey, ginger, garlic, that sounds like the best chicken wing ever. Right?
I'm hungry.
I'm feeding you like literally on camera.
I'm feeding them now, and how are you hungry?
Jesus.
All right, next, some dark chocolate. Heat of the ginger's gone, but it's just sweet and chocolate and buttery and gingery. That is like, it's like a candy store in your mouth.
It amps up the heat of the ginger. Like there's no heat in this for me. When I...
It's like a candy store in your mouth.
This, if you took out the chocolate taste, exactly the feel you get from a Chinese ginger chew. It's crazy. No, the chocolate for me, it amped up the heat of the ginger, which there was none when you initially tasted it.
Mm-hmm.
And it amped up actually the flavor of the ginger a fair bit.
For me, it almost cut the heat down, but it was like sweetness of like ginger and chocolate and butter and...
Have the chocolate in your mouth, let it melt a little bit first, and then try it again. Because I swear to God, it amplifies heat where there wasn't any to begin with. Let it melt all over the tongue. That's right.
Yeah, no, for me, I mean, again, the taste is subjective, but I'm getting like the heat of the ginger's gone, but there's this, I think it's because of the thickness of the meat itself. I'm getting this really buttery taste with the chocolate.
No,
it's like,
I get the buttery, but for me, it's like, you know how sometimes when you're drinking like a wine or a mead, there's like that last final kind of hook of flavor before it goes down your throat. For me, it's the last little hook there. It's like the heat of the ginger is there. And if you taste this just without having anything prior, you don't taste any of the heat from the ginger at all.
And another thing about Bochet is like the taste of it. I find too, like when I've tried other Bochets, it's either toasted caramel, creme brulee, marshmallow flavors, usually kind of what I associate with a lot of Bochets. This is definitely more of a dessert wine.
Yeah, like there's a slight vanilla note to this.
If I find, yeah. I can taste a little vanilla. It's kind of in there with the marshmallow.
Well, marshmallows are usually flavored with vanilla, so that would make sense.
But I find too is like you'd have Bochet usually as a dessert wine, like you would like an ice wine or a very sweet like a Moscato.
Yeah, this is definitely a dessert wine.
No.
Finish off a dessert. Finish off yours, and then we're going to make a cocktail.
Just one thing quickly, because this is thick, drizzle it over ice cream.
Ooh.
Eat vanilla or anything like the vanilla would probably highlight the vanilla notes of this.
I would say if you can find an apple pie ice cream and drizzle this over top, this would be the bee's knees. I need to quit doing that symbol.
It's okay. It's okay.
Bee's knees.
But no, I think this would be great over any dessert, really. Like because there's so much of a caramel presence there. I think it would just highlight anything, even if you had something like just a hint of salt. It almost tastes like a salted caramel creme brulee. I think it'd just be crazy.
That's true. All right. Pass me. Yes.
We have a little bit of ginger beer here. Corey's come up with an idea for a cocktail.
Yeah, this is the Great Jamaican Spicy Ginger Beer. It's available at most grocery stores, and it's one of the spicier ones. This is typically the ginger beer, thanks to my wonderful and lovely friend Monique, who introduced me to this, that I like using for like dark and stormies, which is a spiced rum ginger drink with lime, and it's so good. So before we do that, we're gonna do 1/2 ounce of the liqueur. Because it's so sweet, we don't want to do a full ounce. It's just going to be...
Is that a full ounce?
This is a 1/2 ounce.
Oh. Huh?
All right. And we're going to add ginger beer. And it's cold from the fridge, so we're not adding ice at this juncture. And to kind of play with the sweet, kind of take down the sweetness just a wee bit, lime juice. And yes, I know fresh is better, but this is what I have, and unless you're going to come here and juice my limes for me, no, that's not a euphemism for something else.
You're just going to get somebody to walk up to your door one day and be like, I'm here to juice your limes. Tired of using that real lemon, I'm here to juice for you.
Whew, you ever see me slam a door in someone's face? Because that day you would.
I just want a juice.
I'm going to give it 2 good squirts of the lime juice.
And again, too, like we said before, because mead is making such a resurgence, cocktails and things like that, even with Bochet's too, and its dessert style. And again, like you said before, it can be used as a simple syrup in a cocktail base with, if you want a little heat in something, especially with this one with the ginger, or a little caramelly flavor,
Caramelly flavor. Caramelly.
Again,
tomato.
You could be creating a cocktail or a highball or something that has never been done before, so definitely encourage you to experiment and try.
I'm pretty sure this is original. If it tastes good, we're calling it the Mead Maiden.
The Mead Maiden? All right.
We're calling it the Mead Maiden. Only if it tastes good, though. This is an experiment. Oh my god, that's like summer in a glass.
It is. The thickness is down in this. It's not as thick because it's been watered down by the ginger beer, or at least it's not... watered down, I guess if I say. But the presence of the ginger there and the ginger beer here, and
it's been a bit more diffused.
Exactly, and the acid going in with it for the lime is, oh man.
Yep, this is the Mead Maiden. This is official.
There you go, a new cocktail, a new drink just right there, just invented right in front of your eyes.
Yay!
About a little bit of Ginger Bochet, some ginger beer, and a squirt of lime juice.
2 squirts.
Or 2 squirts of lime juice. Oh man.
Or probably the juice of half a lime.
It's like, it's fizzy and it like tickles your mouth.
It's fizzy, it's sweet, it's got a little bit of sour, it burns a little bit from the ginger beer. It's got that sweetness, the vanilla note, like everything just plays together so nice.
Absolutely,
truthfully speaking, I've had people try to make ginger lime drinks before. A friend of mine years ago tried to make a ginger lime mead and, ferment it that way, and it came out tasting like dish soap.
I mean, it could be an experiment. You could try, when you get a lot of accents and flavors too, a lot of times what mazers will do is they'll do their primary fermentation with just their honey until they get it to the alcohol point or the point they want. And then they'll stop the fermentation there, and then they'll add their fruit base, let it ferment for a little while, and then they'll stop it just to get they'll stop at the alcohol level they want, and then they'll get the sweetness from the honey, and then they'll get the pronounced fruit flavors or the after flavors they want. Usually it's secondary.
It's kind of got that kind of, it plays in my mouth a bit like an amaretto sour, if that makes sense, because the amaretto is so sweet, and then you're putting with lemon juice and the playing with the sweetness and the sour is really good, and then you add that little spice from the ginger. It's just amazing.
It is. It's like that acid.
I nailed it.
The acid and the sweetness.
It's delicious.
They complement each other as well, and the ginger just it's like somebody's tickling your mouth. As weird as that sounds.
Don't inhale it.
No.
Sip it. Word of warning.
This is not a drink to be shotgunned. This is a drink to be sipped and enjoyed. pepper, a little peppery in there. It's good.
It's really good.
No, so the Mead Maiden, created by Courtney here. This is great. No, but like Chinook, like I'm personally definitely a big fan of their meads. I think you guys did a great job.
Also, we recommend that you try this because, oh my god, it's good.
Ginger beer, some Ginger Bochet, a couple of squirts of lime juice. You're off to the races with something peppery and fun in your mouth. But you know what? Before we
peppery and fun in your mouth.
Peppery and fun. And again, it is sweet, so you if you're
we're not going to put as much in the horn as we usually
if you're not a big fan of sweet drinks, a Bochet might not be for you just because the beast itself is just the nature of the beast. As I say, it is sweeter.
Now, while he's pouring this, I'm gonna read spooky riddles and jokes.
More
dad jokes. Yes.
Oh God.
What is spookier than a ghost?
I don't know.
2 ghosts. What is the hardest thing to sell a zombie?
What?
Life insurance.
To all the dads out there watching, please don't torture your children.
Ooh, one more. One more.
One more.
What has 16 wheels and breathes fire?
I don't know.
A dragon on roller skates. It hurts so bad.
Just torture. All right. Before we end this off, we are going to try, obviously, in a magic official drinking mead vessel, the horn. And, whoa.
Brings out the ginger.
You know what? I'm not going to say nothing until you try it.
Black magic and chicanery.
It is black magic.
And chicanery.
That smell that. Is that not ginger and pepper somewhere?
It's exactly like a Chimes ginger chew. And those things are the tits. I can say that and not get demonetized.
I've never had these ones, so I'm going to have to take her word for it, but I'm getting like pepper and ginger.
No, you get the pepper kind of from the heat a
Yeah.
little bit.
But like pepper, corn pepper, not like peppers.
Yeah, that's a good distinction to make. Like the spice, not the actual vegetable.
Mm-hmm.
Or technically they're fruit, I think.
The peppers. But no, like, awesome job by Chinook. You guys did a great job with this. This is definitely, I think something you should definitely enjoy, especially on these cool fall days.
Or in the summer with these.
Yes, spend some time with a Mead Maiden in the summer. And definitely this Ginger Bochet is great for this time of year when it's starting to get cool to just kind of warm you up on the inside. I think this would be great after it came in from like shoveling snow or raking leaves. Definitely warm you up on the inside, so definitely good job by Chinook.
So just to run through the recipe one more time, because we just created it. This is just a regular whiskey glass. It's got the little Crown Royal symbol on it, so an actual whiskey glass. Now it's got a ½ ounce of the liqueur, about half the whiskey glass, fill it up to half full with the ginger beer, and 2 squirts or the juice of half a lime.
Mm. And this is good. Definitely something to relax with that just kind of give you that warm mouth feel. But thank you for Courtney for creating a new cocktail right on the fly.
Yeah, thank you. We have a drink that's named after something to do with the channel. So hey,
there we go. She's been asking for a meeting. Now at least we got the cocktail. But as always, again, try it out. We'll leave a link to Chinook's website in the description below, so you can go and get a bottle of this. That'll help keep you warm.
You do need to.
Yes, keep you warm on those cool fall and upcoming winter nights. And as always, we'll see you later.
Bye.
Peace.